And you know what I'm talking about. This is a rematch of the 2020. A lot of people, your boy Pat Bev, like we heard, he was dismissing it. With the bubble. Yeah, exactly. And so, as we know, Miami prevailed in 6.
Right.
What, bro? Just give me your first thoughts, reactions, just your takeaways. Like just from hearing that was a series to begin with.
I want to say my first thing is before this series even started, before we knew this was the series, I said multiple times on record that whoever wins the Celtics Bucks series is going to win the championship, and for sure represent the East, in the finals. But I think that like that series got the Celtics championship ready, and my biggest thing is some of the games the Heat won against the Sixers was just Jimmy Butler playing out of his mind. Like that one game that Jimmy Butler was just took over. And that's fine and dandy when your matchup is Tobias Harris, James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, and even when you see DeAndre Jordan in drop coverage. Like, don't get me wrong, one of the games he had 30, he had 6 mid-ranges where he walked into a mid-range because DeAndre Jordan is the worst basketball player in the league. And you go from that to you playing one of the best defenses, like these guys are so connected. You go from having Tobias Harris on you to Jayson Tatum on you. Okay, cool. You call for screen. We switched everything. Okay, now you got Marcus Smart. That's a dog on you. Or you got Jaylen Brown on you. Or you got Horford who can slide his feet. Or you got Time Lord. Like he's back for the series with no minute restrictions. Like this is going to be a series, and I don't think the Heat have enough scoring in the half court to win this series. I think we put Tatum on Butler. We go Jaylen Brown on Hero when he checks in. Marcus Smart on Strus. I think that puts them in a tough situation. And we can even go Grant Williams on Jimmy B sometimes. He can slide. Like that puts them in a tough situation because in transition he can score because they have shooters and they have guys that can slash. So I mean that's a recipe for a good transition offense. But in the half court, playoff basketball is a little slower, so slow down. I think they struggle scoring because, bro, the Celtics are so connected defensively. And, I mean, if you look at Jayson Tatum, he had game 3, he had 10 points. He had, besides this last game 7, he had 23 because foul trouble. But before that, game 4 through 6, 30+. Like, he's in a rhythm right now. JT's in a rhythm. JT's been on the stage before. Jaylen Brown's in a rhythm. I mean, it's hard when they play. Besides that game 5 when Smart went hero mode and almost threw the whole season away. Besides that, these guys play so connected. They play well together on offense. They share the ball well. They play well together on defense, and it's tough. It's tough to get past that because you got Jayson Tatum who can go get you 30, Jaylen Brown who can get you 30, but more likely like 25. You got Smart who will get you 15, 16, or like last game what he had. Whatever he had that and 9 assists.
Right.
You got Grant Williams who can go hit 5, 6 threes if he gets hot. And then Robert Williams is coming back for defense, and it makes it tough because dudes like Jimmy B, they're gonna get theirs. Like even if it's any
regardless, he's averaging 30 a game.
Yeah, like I think the Celtics defense is gonna be the toughest one he's gonna see this playoffs. So I think that's something that he haven't seen any good defenses. The Hawks were fooled. The Sixers struggled, especially with Embiid out. They had a couple of games with Embiid in, but besides that, they struggled. And they're going from to what I see as easy defenses or easier ones to a top tier one. And I think that defensively, Jimmy B, he's going to be ready to go regardless. But it's the others I worry about. And by others, I'm not even including Max Strus. He's shown me that his threes are gonna drop. If he can get them off, he'll drop them. But dudes like Tyler Herro, like when your matchup was Tyrese Maxey, you wouldn't got 16, 17 tonight. Okay, well now it's Jaylen Brown. That's Marcus a different. Smart. Yeah, then now it's Marcus Smart. Do you have that same energy?
Tatum.
Can you go get you 15, 16 still when these are your matchups?
I don't trust him.
That bro, that's to me that's the X factor is who can score besides Jimmy Butler? Because Jimmy's gonna get his. This current team, he's gonna have to get his. But Bam Adebayo has shown that when I'm playing a backup, I'll go nuts. Like against DeAndre Jordan, he was after 20 plus in the series. So like, I need to see Bam hoop, and
he hasn't been himself offensively. I feel like I feel like Eric Spoelstra isn't running the offense as much through Bam. I know, he's always been like a secondary type playmaker, but bro, you know about Bam and his playmaking ability. I think he's special, especially at that size. But we don't see that much. We don't see that much in the offense anymore. He's not facilitating as much. You don't see. I don't see a lot of those dribble handoffs like I used to see. He's just not really ever that focal point. It's more Jimmy Butler pick and roll, Tyler Hero do your thing. I feel like with the Duncan Robinson, like you talked about, you said Tyler Hero is one of your X factors. For me, it gotta be a Duncan Robinson. I feel like overall Miami has just been struggling shooting.
You think he's gonna play this series?
See, look, I know what you're gonna say.
No, I'm just asking because he obviously played Game 6
sparingly, but and that's really only to help L because Miami has struggled shooting from 3. But in the regular season, and I know it's the regular season, but I'm just saying they were number 1 in the league in 3-point shooting. So 38%, that's a big part of what they do offensively. Now, if their 3 can't fall, because in the playoffs, they're 13th. And how many teams made the playoffs? It was 16 teams that made the playoffs. They're 13th in playoff percentage as far as shooting the 3 ball. And so look, I brought this up earlier, but Miami was a top 5 team defensively in both efficiency and both points per game. And that was with Duncan Robinson being a starter throughout the course of the regular season. And so you might lose a little bit defensively, but as a whole, as a team, like we talked about, Miami, they switch everything. They have, versatility. They have the scheme. They also blitz a lot, but they also have dogs, the energy, the hustle, the culture. We haven't even talked about Kyle Lowry. Now it's been reported that he's going to be out for Game 1, but he's also another X factor.
No, Steezy.
You don't think he tips the scales?
No, he actually, bro. If Lowry played all series, you guys would be home right now. Lowry is a negative. Like the Lowry that played last series, the one who had 0 this many points, like
he wasn't 100 though. He was injured.
He got injured like that. The second game, like the first game, he looked fine. He did, like I saw the play, he got hurt and he played through it a couple minutes fine. But the first, listen, I don't do the whole injured and then play through it and then act like to me that's not real because
that's fair.
Guys don't get those passes. Like Chris Paul quad injury, to me, you don't get a pass. Like Harden last year played with his hamstring falling off the bone. No one gave him a pass, so I don't do the whole. I'm cool off the passes. So if you're out there, you're hooping. And he was out there.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, he was out there.
That's fair. But look, he statistically, obviously, he's not there. But I just feel like in terms of the leadership, he embodies Heat culture. He's top 3 in the league in charges.
No, I do agree on that. He's
a lot of 3-point shooting. He's another shooter, another threat to shoot the basketball. His playmaking, Miami, bro, they don't really have a true point guard.
Steezy.
Because look, he's missed games. There hasn't been nearly as much volume. He's surrounded by a whole bunch of scorers. He don't need to shoot that much.
Sound like
maybe.
Lowry, we're not praising Lowry in this 2022 of May or May.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Because I digress. I'll just add, this isn't the best version of Kyle Lowry, so I'll agree with you there.
You guys. He might bounce back better as well next year, but this is not the Kyle.
He's gonna have to.
This isn't the Kyle Lowry that Heat fans signed up for.
It's not. But we've seen it in spurts, and so I guess in a way, it's the homerism out of me counting on that.
I don't want to see. Listen, here's my hot take real quick for you, Steezy. What Kyle Lowry is doing in a Heat uniform, Ricky Rubio can do in a Heat uniform. There's that.
It's not that crazy, honestly. And that's a testament to the sort of year that Kyle Lowry's had. We felt his impact. Obviously, the team has felt the impact, but just, the injuries have kind of sapped, a lot of that. We don't even got to go there, man. Look, we talked about Jayson Tatum. We talked about Jimmy Buckets. We talked about Jaylen Brown. We was just talking about Kyle Lowry. Look, I've read a couple articles. They talked about how Jimmy Butler's the best player in this series. I've read another couple. Jayson Tatum's the best player in this series. Me personally, this has been talked about a lot amongst NBA Twitter, just at the barbershop, amongst the homies, just sports in general. But I don't know why. These two are always lumped together, Jimmy Butler and Jayson Tatum. You tell me, my brother. You talk to me. Who's the best player in this series? The man right behind me or the man right behind you, Jimmy Buckets?
Listen, the man behind you is the best player in this series. Jayson Tatum is the best player in the series. And to me, it's not even as close as people trying to make it seem. Jimmy Butler is a really good scorer. You know, he can play. He's good on defense as well. But we look at Jayson Tatum. Like we're looking at somebody who, as I said, was searching out Greek Freak last round, like in this pick and roll. Like looking at somebody like he does not like he's such a gifted scorer. Like that 1 10-point game was uncharacteristic. After that, 30 points every game besides Game 7 when he got in foul trouble. Like when he gets hot, I mean, bro, we just saw this last series. What was that, Game 6? He had 46 or 40. What was that? 40? Yeah, what, 8 threes? Like we just saw what it looks like when this man when he's in that when he gets in that mode. And I think he's the best player in this series. And Jimmy Butler, he can score. I think the biggest difference for this series with his scoring will be the threes. Last series, they gave him the wide open three, late contested, or no contested. The Celtics are much more disciplined. They're way better coached. And although they're not going to take the mid-range over the three for Jimmy Butler, the three won't be wide open. And I'm confident in that. And I think that's going to have an impact. And I don't know, like when I think best player, I think who's more likely to carry their team to a win when it really matters. Elimination game, whether that's one team down 3-2 or it's, Game 7. And I feel like right now that's Tatum. Tatum is just so hungry, man. And he's so skilled and polished. And what's crazy is watching the Sixers series, it actually reminded me how much Jimmy raises his level in the playoffs. Because regular season Jimmy and playoff Jimmy, those are different people. We all like, you're a Heat fan, I know you know that, but you know NBA fans, we know that. And watching every game that he played in that series, I saw it again. I'm like, wow, like, okay. I forgot playoff Jimmy. Like, he levels up. He hit some tough shots. Hey. He was hitting some nut shit for the most part.
Bro, my fault, but he's shooting 36% from three.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen an efficient Jimmy from three in years.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been since his time in Chicago, since last time we saw him shooting the three ball with any sort of efficiency whatsoever. Yeah. And so now he's making threes?
Yeah. And that's to me that's the X factor. Is can he keep making threes at that rate? And can he make them when they're contested a little bit more? Because I think the Celtics can play better defense. And if Jimmy's hitting the three at that clip, that makes it tough. And it makes the series a toss-up. But as far as like best player in this series, I'm going JT. JT. I think when he gets hot, he's in hell. Like it's an inferno. He can score from all over. When the three's dropping off the dribble and the mid post game is cooking, and the Kobe fadeaway's dropping, and I don't know. There's a better forward in the game scoring. Like
he's so smooth, bro, and I think his athleticism is underrated.
Yeah, agreed.
Athleticism underrated, bro. We seen a couple against Milwaukee where he was just trying to yam it. I mean, a couple of those times he was fouled, right? But man, I think that's underrated. But his level or his ability as a 3-level scorer, nobody talks about as a 3-level scorer. Nobody ever talks about that. They're just talking about the fadeaways, the off the dribble shooting, his threes, wherever, like you said, anywhere on the floor, wherever. And this year defensively, but he took a step forward. I mean, last year he was pretty solid. He was great defensively, but this year he took an even bigger leap forward. And okay, maybe that's a byproduct of having such elite playmakers around you defensively. Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year. Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Grant Williams. They have versatility. They got bodies. They have length. They have athleticism. They have, they switch everything. They have a head coach that's, aggressive on defense. He wants to, do all that. And so maybe that's a byproduct of that. But defensively, he had a career year. In the first round against the Nets, averaged 30 a game, locking up KD. Against the Milwaukee Bucks in an elimination game, outdueled Giannis Antetokounmpo. Look, you know me, bro. I'm rocking with my Heat, but I think JT is the best player in the series. It's really not that hard. I think Jayson Tatum, he's proven that he's been a top 10 player in the league this year. Jimmy Butler's been hot in the postseason, but I can't go as far as to say that he's a top 10 player in the league just yet. Jayson Tatum, he has a better supporting cast as well. I got to go with him as the best player in the series. Knowing that Boston has the best player in the series, obviously.
Hold on, I got a question for you, Steezy. Real quick, Steezy. I want you to rank the 5 best players in this series in order.
In this series?
Yes, in order.
All right. So number 1, Jayson Tatum.
Okay,
that's easy. Number 2, Jimmy Buckets.
Okay.
Number 3, Jaylen Brown.
Then it gets tricky. Talk to me, Steezy.
Jaylen Brown. See, Boston got 2 of the 3 best players in this series. Right. That's another advantage that they have. So it's okay. Jayson Tatum, Jimmy Butler, Jaylen Brown. I gotta go Bam.
Okay.
He's been an all-star in this league.
Yeah.
We've seen him drop 19, 20 a game.
That's a great pick.
It's okay. Bam 4. The 5th best player in this series. It can't be Kyle Lowry. He hasn't been there. It can't be Tyler Hero. 14 points a game in the postseason is not gonna get it done. It has to be a Celtic. I'm torn between Marcus Smart and Al Horford. I'm gonna say Al Horford though, because Marcus Smart, he's missed a couple of games. I think the first game he missed, his team won without him. Yeah. And nothing against him, but in a race like this, you got to be a little nitpicky. So I think for me, number 1, Jayson Tatum. Number 2, Jimmy Butler. Number 3, Jaylen Brown. Number 4, Bam Adebayo. And then number 5, of the Boston Celtics, Al Horford.
Yeah. I like that. You? I mean, I got the same list just with Smart at the 5 instead of Horford. I just think Smart is, I think defensively, he's going to have to give dudes fits. When Smart's making shots, I think he's the X factor. When Smart, when you get Smart hitting 4 or 5 threes a game, listen, bro, let's get ready for the next game. Because Tatum's still getting his, Brown getting his. We got Smart getting 17, 18. Listen, you're probably going to lose this game. That's just the real. And
that's just the cherry on top.
Yeah. But when the shot's not dropping and he's able to impact the game defensively, it's going to be important because he's going to have possessions on Jimmy Butler, possessions on Tyler Hero. He'll have possessions guarding the shooter, Max Strus. He'll have possessions on the switch guarding Bam Adebayo. He's going to be everywhere. And he's going to have to be locked in. And as I said, I think Horford was more important in the Bucks series because they had Giannis. In this series, I think he's a little bit less important. Time Lord's going to be back. He's back starting. I don't know how Horford fits against the Heat. Putting Horford on PJ Tucker, I think, is a win for the Heat. You're not making PJ Tucker have to do much. He's going to help off Al Horford and live with Al Horford threes anyway. So
right, he's been a little sporadic.
Yeah, I feel like you got to put someone else on the court that can make PJ guard, make him, we don't want to leave that open. And that's why I went Smart over Horford for my 5th spot because the top 4 are identical.
Right, and look, I think it's really, like I said, it's a toss-up, but one of the reasons why I'm siding with Horford, not just because, Marcus Smart has missed a couple of games here and there. Yeah. I think with Al Horford, he's not going to be as erratic offensively. We saw, I think, was at the end of game 5 or 6, Marcus Smart turned the ball over. He got stripped by Jrue Holiday. There was a wide-open Jayson Tatum, and the play was designed, reportedly, for Jayson Tatum, game 5. And I'm not just looking at that and saying, oh, Marcus Smart, he turns the ball over in critical situations. I'm not just looking, at that. But I think as a whole, he's a little erratic, especially offensively. He's a wild card, especially, at times in the clutch. And so with the Al Horford, you're not going to get that. And I feel like with the Jayson Tatum, with Jaylen Brown, you know what I mean? I'd rather just go with the safer play with the Al Horford. He's going to be steady. He's also, I think, a reliable, underrated playmaker.
You know what you're going to get from him.
Exactly. Defensively, he hold his own against guards on switches. He's not going to do it, for the entire game, but he could definitely do it for more than stretches.
Yeah.
But Darius, bro, I gotta ask. So the Celtics favorites, and you and I both agree they have the best player in this series, which usually goes a long way, especially in the playoffs. What must the Heat do to pull off the upset?
Tyler Herro has to get going. He's gonna have to have at least 2 or 3 games with 20+ points per game. Jimmy has to keep being Jimmy. Some games it might be 30, some games it might be 23. One game it might be 40. He has to keep his foot on the gas, and he can't get frustrated. It's going to be hard to sell the defense, but he has to just be that steady force for the Heat. And just defensively, this is going to be a really good series defensively. 2 defensive juggernauts, 2 high-level coaches defensively. The Heat, we'll see man, we'll see zone. So for me, it's the chess match. Can Spoelstra outcoach Ime? Can Jimmy B find a way to outplay JT? Can Strus hit 3 threes a game? Can he have a game where he hits 4 threes? Got game 6, Strus was all over boards, assists. Like, can Strus be that? Can he have that big of an impact against the Celtics? Can he do that consistently? Because if Strus is balling and Jimmy B is still getting you, 25 to 30 plus, puts him in a great position. And Harold starts getting his 20. They've shown that defensively they'll be solid. Bam has to step up. He, has to play better than he did against Embiid. But they've shown that this is a team that can win games. They're tough as nails. They're really good defensively. And when they get on a run and Jimmy B's in that rhythm and threes are dropping, and it's a Harold 3, then a Strus 3, and then a Vincent 3, then a Jimmy 3, and it's one of those nights, and that becomes consistent, then he can win this series. I'm glad the odds are so low for the Celtics, even though they're favorites, because to me this is a true toss-up. This is like a true toss-up. They're 2 teams that are very good on defense. Both have, stars/superstars that can carry a team, and it's gonna be chess, not checkers. High-level coaches. I think the game of adjustments we're gonna see from both coaches. If you love the game of basketball, this is gonna be a beautiful series for you. We're gonna get a lot. We get star power, high-level defense. We get adjustments. We get good coaching. No complaints from me.
Bro, it's going to be a slugfest. It's going to be a dogfight. I mean, we might see a couple of games here or there, not even eclipse 100 points. You know what I mean? That's how battle-tested, how great these 2 teams are defensively. They both finished top 5 in both efficiency and opposing points per game allowed. And so they have the dogs. They have the switchability. They have the versatility. They have aggressive head coaches. Yeah. I mean, look, with Miami, they have a few advantages. Earlier, we talked about how obviously they're the number 1 seed. Home court runs through FTX Arena. They also have, I feel like, the upper hand at head coach. I agree they're both great head coaches, but Eric Spoelstra, obviously with the experience, he's been in it before.
You got no debate for me. Spoelstra that's a seasoned vet in the game.
Bro, OG in the game. Udoka is more like a Ja Morant, right? He's stepping onto the scene. He's exploding.
He's new to the scene, but we see him though.
We see him though. Yeah, we see him. We gonna acknowledge him. We gonna show him his respect. We gonna give him his flowers. We see you, but you're not there yet. Eric Spo. So Miami has the advantage there. They have home court. And like we talked about, if Bubble Hero shows up, if we see that, if Duncan Robinson gets a little bit more play, he injects a little bit more life into Miami's 3-point shooting. If Kyle Lowry can come in, take some charges, set the tone defensively, make a couple of threes here or there. If Bam Adebayo, if he can step up and be more involved offensively, let him work as a secondary playmaker. He can do that. Why, Eric Spoelstra, why'd you stop doing that? I don't see that as much. Maybe that helps Tyler Hero in the shooting. Maybe that helps Max Strus, maintain his pace that he's been on. We can't forget about Gabe Vincent. We haven't even talked about Gabe Vincent. He's been doing this thing defensively. He's been making open threes. And so, look, this team is absolutely loaded in terms of depth. Now, I know depth doesn't matter nearly as much come playoff time because teams are always going to shorten, the rotations. But look, all those things had to happen on top of Jimmy Butler providing his usual 30, which he's been doing pretty much all playoffs long. You talked about it, though. Level of competition, it's a little bit questionable. So we got to see if he's going to be able to sustain that against an elite defense. But, man, a lot of things had to happen. You know, I want to rock with my Heat. The homer in me wants to say Heat in 7, but I think if I'm speaking with my mind and not my heart, I'm running with Boston here, though, bro. I think Boston, they come out on top in 7. Offensively, man, the gap in talent. So from a Jimmy to a Tyler Hero, that gap is huge. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, not nearly as much. And they also got Marcus Smart, who can, you know, show up here and there. Derek White, we haven't even talked about Derek White. And so Boston, man, they're just too good, bro. They're just too good. I think they come out on top in 7. We kind of touched on this just a little bit, but
Celtics in 6. That's my official pick, mind you.
Saying Celtics in 6.
Celtics in 6. We're not going. No 7 needed. We ain't gonna do the game 7 thing.
Okay. I'm gonna say Boston in 7.
Yeah.
Boston in 7. I think every team defends home court, and it's gonna come down to Game 7 in Miami. And it's going to be the first road game 1 in the series. I think Boston, they can't win in Miami. So I think that's how it goes down ultimately. But Darius, one more question, bro. We already kind of touched on this. You don't got to spend too long. But I'm curious. If Kyle Lowry is there from Game 2 and on, and I guess it sounds kind of like a repeat, but oh well. Did he have a chance against the Celtics without a Kyle Lowry, though? Like, let's say he doesn't come back for a while.
Yes. They are better without Kyle Lowry. I just watched my Sixers. I just watched us cook them boys with Lowry, and then Lowry leave, and then they get better on defense. They get better on offense. Like, I just watched this. Listen, like this, I'm not making this isn't like a theory. I just watched it. I watched us go from like, all right, cool, Kyle's playing. All right, pick and roll, make Kyle guard and get by him. He's food. And then offensively, bro, Kyle off the screen. We're in drop coverage. We're living with the Kyle wonderful pull up 3 off the pick and roll when he gets deep. We're not even playing him because he's not looking to score. He just wants to figure out how deep do I have to go into the paint to get Bam the ball back, and hopefully Bam can make some shit happen or Jimmy makes some shit happen. So I watched this. So without Larry, they have a hell of a chance because the ball moves a little bit more. Jimmy B has the ball more. Less wasted possessions with Kyle Lowry running a pick and roll for absolutely no reason. And I think that plugging him in, it helps the Celtics. Same way the Sixers looked way better when Lowry played. When Lowry plays, like this Heat team is just like in the regular season, Lowry was important. But in the playoffs, with how Jimmy B's playing, how he's scoring, and the fact that Bam also needs to be a secondary like ball handler and creator, like Lowry, you just become a little bit less important. Like especially if it's around, like if Jimmy's gonna be this ball dominant, we need to surround Jimmy with Hero,
shooters,
and Robinson and Vincent and Bam. Like surrounding him with you, Lowry, and you're not hitting. I mean, we got you in the shooter spot at this point because Jimmy B is on ball, or if not him, like the action we haven't seen it as much, but. You know, giving the ball to Bam in the high post and playing off of Bam, whether that be, you know, a
that's what I'm saying.
Cut. Yeah, like the backdoor cut when because Bam can make those backdoor cut passes, or the dribble handoff, or even the fake dribble handoff. Like Bam has shown us he can play out of that. So, no Lowry helps keep the ball in Jimmy's hands, and it helps get Bam more touches, and that's a recipe for the Heat to win. And you add Lowry in, you get more grit, toughness, Heat culture, yada yada. The Heat guy, I already know Steezy, you're a Heat guy. I know Jimmy Butler, Heat culture. We wake up, work out at 4 a.m. We're in the gym until practice days. We spend the night in the gym. Big face coffee. I get it. Heat culture, this and that. But you don't win a game in the playoffs with just Heat culture. You need guys to come.
Nah, facts.
And to me, Lowry's hasn't been doing that this season in general, especially in the playoffs. So I think without Lowry, the Heat have this is their best opportunity. And I think like
that's how I think.
Man, bro, it might be scorching, but I just watched them boys turn up on my Sixers as soon as he got hurt. Lowry came back. Next, he got his game off. Hard hooping. It's a party. Lowry leave, and it's like now we gotta have Gabe Vincent on the. Now we gotta guard Gabe Vincent. He's a better defender, and he can hit the catch and shoot 3 more. And instead of Kyle Lowry's pick and rolls that lead to nothing, we got more Jimmy Butler ISOs, and we couldn't stop the first ones, and now he's getting an extra 7 ISOs a game, bro. No, this is not. Yeah, bro. Like this, without Lowry, the Heat, he got a shot to me. Now if Lowry comes back in, the Heat win no more games. You heard it here first. That's a hot take. So
man, you talking crazy.
No, if you heard it here first, because thinking about it is Steezy, if when Larry comes back and he don't win any more games, then your next NBA talk show, I need to be back on here so I can double back and take my victory lap.
I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need you to do that. I'm gonna need you to
hey,
you
listen,
know.
Man, I'm lacing my shoes
about accountability.
Up. Yeah, my shoes is laced up.
Hey, say no more, bro. Say no more. Man, but my brother, you know what they say. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes, sir.
So, man, that just about wraps up this show, bro. I can't wait for the games to start. I mean, like we talked about tomorrow, Boston, Miami on TNT. Wednesday, Golden State, Dallas on ESPN. We'll definitely double back, triple back, quadruple back, 5 back, 6 back, whatever it is, bro. There's gonna be a lot to talk about, especially around the NBA Finals. I want to try to cover as many games as possible. So, we're gonna have a lot of opportunities. But my brother, before you go, please tell the people where to find you, plug yourself. What's going on? What's coming up next? And hey, but before you go though, ladies and gentlemen, please give my special guest a round of applause, man. He repping Cleveland Eagles, JV head coach, assistant for Varsity, Northern Select, 17U, the head coach. Like we talked about, he's played college ball. He knows it all. He's the coach himself, Mr. Showtime. Let him know, my brother.
Yeah, man. Follow me on Instagram, man. Find me at Showtime Training _ on Twitter at O come first, then Showtime EOE. You can have me as far as anything basketball related, training, coaching. Obviously you guys see I'm on the podcast. I do a little bit of everything basketball wise. But man, it's really a blessing to be here. I've watched a lot of Steezy's episodes. I watched him, be in his bag for the last 2 years. So to be here and get this moment with him, to talk sports and break down the NBA playoffs, man, happy to be here. Man, I've always been happy for him. And man, Showtime Terry signing off.
Man, come on. Hey, that's how you, man.
Yeah.
Come on, that's how you exit.
Yeah.
Man, bro, this has been an honor, bro. It's crazy because we met through fantasy football. We met at Liz, and to see us talking about the NBA. I know but I don't know about you, but for me, I might be doing a lot of football, a lot of Seahawks stuff, but it's always gonna be basketball first. Basketball is always my first love. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, but best believe, come fantasy football season, bro, I'm gonna need you on the show too. I know you were an OG, you were a veteran. I know you got some chips.
I'm coming fresh off the championship, Steezy. I'm coming. I'm ready to defend my throne in as a fantasy football champion, man. And listen, I can't wait for football season, man. Even though we'll talk about it later today. But listen, man, I'm excited for fantasy for sure, and I'm definitely locked in for that.
Oh, 1,000%, bro. I'm actually gonna launch a fantasy show. So, like I said, bro, you definitely gonna double back here for fantasy. I'm gonna need you on, bro.
Say that,
man.
Say that.
But to all the people out there, as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for showing my boy right here some love. The links to all of his socials will be down in the description below. Please show a brother some love, though. If you are already, hit that subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment, share. Appreciate that. But all that good stuff. As always, though, it's always a blessing to be able to host another episode, being able to talk sports, bro. This has been fun, bro. Like I said, time flies when you're having fun. But don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Steezy A. Smith. Don't forget to follow my brother, of course, at Showtime Terry. You said Showtime Terry Training. I forgot the handle.
Instagram Showtime Training, Twitter Showtime EOE. But listen, it's gonna be at the bottom. Don't even worry about it.
You don't even worry about it. I'm over here trying to do the most. But hey, he gonna be back though. Signing off. Again, this video is going to be dedicated to Mr. Todd Nas. While that concludes this video, we have loads of other content. You don't have to stop watching there. Other content on our channel homepage, as well as our social media platforms. And again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for us. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Nothing but love, and Steezy out.